What up, peeps? Welcome to a little bonus video. We're just going to be telling you guys about a crazy customer story from earlier today that happened. And I was in the back working on the laptop, and sorry. And all I heard, I wasn't paying attention to what was going on out at the front of the store because Ryan and Abby are both out there. They can typically handle things without me, so I wasn't paying attention. And then all of a sudden, I hear a guy like screaming inside the store, like, "Oh, this place is a," what did he say? Like,
oh, he said a lot of things.
He said something like, "Oh, this place is a ripoff. You guys are blah blah blah, whatever." And then I started paying attention, and so that's pretty much all that I had to do with it. But Abby's going to tell you guys what happened since she was out there. But we do have some video that I'm going to kind of splice in as well. There's no audio, unfortunately. But
sadness.
But
we would have had to beep out like everything, though.
Yeah, so you'll get the video of what's going on, but Abby's going to explain what happened.
So it started off with Ryan doing a trade-in. Ryan, oh, you can hear Homer just hacking in the background. I'm sorry. He drinks water too fast and it makes him cough. Is he right there? Let's hope.
Let's hope.
So, Ryan is doing more and more trade-ins, and typically when we're slower, we have him do the trade-in just as, like, a little bit of practice, but also, like, so he can just get better about it, faster, you know prices better, that kind of stuff. So I was focusing on another customer while Ryan was working with the customer that you'll see in the video. We'll just call him John, I guess.
We don't know what his name was.
We don't know what his name is. So I came up towards the end. Usually Ryan has us double check everything right before he completes everything. And so I just came up, looked over his shoulder, and I was just verifying, like, oh, are the prices correct? Are they not correct? That kind of stuff. And there was a game in there that, like, I can't even recall which game it was now. That is going to be
Xbox One
going on Xbox Live.
Or Game Pass or
Game
something.
Pass, whatever it's called, for free. So whenever that happens, those games always drop tremendously, so to the point where, like, they're really not worth anything for the next couple of months until they go back up in price. And Ryan didn't realize this because Ryan doesn't have an Xbox. Like, I get the email sent to my email like every month. Hope, leave that alone. It has a dog treats in it.
She's sniffing the bag on the table.
And so Ryan didn't know this information, so it's not his fault. And I had been like, okay, we're gonna actually pass on this game because we're not gonna be able to sell it for that much, so we can't really buy it for the amount that it's going for right this moment, because January 1st it's going to be free.
And even right now, it's like a game we would price at $7.99.
Yeah. And so, especially if the game drops down to the price of like $2.99, we can't pay $3 for that. And obviously we don't do this for all games, but when we know the price is going to drop, we do our best to kind of be aware of that. So I told him, I was like, we're actually going to pass on this game because I didn't want to insult him and make him an offer of 50 cents. And I said that to him. I was like, we're going to pass on this game because, you could get more for it. I'm not going to insult you by offering 50 cents for it because we're going to sell it for $2.99. And he freaked out. He was like, you can't say that you'll promise something to someone, and then go back on it and all this stuff. And I was just like, I can do whatever I want to.
Well, Abby didn't realize that Ryan had already told him the price for that game.
But
when we were going to be pricing it at $8.
Yeah. But I did try my best to explain, like, hey, like, he wasn't quite accurate on that. It happens. I'm really, really sorry. But, like, that's the situation. And Hope.
And so
go lay down.
So the original price that Ryan had told the guy was that we would pay $3 for it. And then after everything was happening, Abby had basically said, like, you know, the most we can pay for it's going to be like 50 cents.
Which I don't want to do, so we're going to pass on it.
Yeah, she didn't want to offer him 50 cents because that's insulting, so she was just going to pass on it instead. And so we're talking about a difference of $2.50.
$2.
And the guy freaked out.
He was screaming. We had a kid in the store.
Yeah, there's other customers in there.
His mom. We had 2 adult customers and 1 child in the store, and it was
like
scary.
13 or 14. He wasn't like a baby.
Still, you don't want your kids around that. And so he like.
And he was kind of like a crackhead. He was like, when I was just watching the video because I recorded it, and like before he started getting angry, when he's just standing there, he's like.
Yeah.
He's like dancing, kind of like swaying and stuff.
Very agitated. Like it's such a weird situation. Like you don't get upset about that if like you're in the right state of mind. So I definitely think there were some influences, either, you know, drugs or alcohol, more than likely drugs, because that's very very present in the area that we are in. We're very close to the bridge that goes between Portland and Vancouver, and there's a lot of foot traffic there. So at that point he was like, give me everything back, because he had a Grand Theft Auto and he had like another game all for Xbox One, and he's like, give me everything back, and he starts like putting it back in his bag, and I was like, we're like, okay, you know, I and Ryan are both very calm at this point, because, you know, he has every right to walk away, that's okay. And then he was like, you're just greedy, you're trying to like make money off of me. And I was like, I mean, that's what businesses do, but okay. And then he was like saying like, oh, things were going just fine before you came up and you were being nosy, and like you should mind your own business and all this stuff. And he called me a few choice words that like definitely like I've been called way worse, so I wasn't super upset about. I mean, I was in public high school, so, but he was like screaming at this point, like while still in the store, and yelling, and he's like, this is a awful establishment and all this. He didn't say establishment. He said like like awful, like shop or something.
That's when I started to hear screaming, and I was like, okay, what's going on?
And then, he was like still yelling at us while he's walking out, and we're just like, okay, you know, he's left the shop, he's done. We're done. That's it. Like, we don't have to deal with him anymore.
That's not really. Yeah. When you look at the video, Ryan immediately follows him. And I remember that part. Ryan followed him to the door, and Abby's like, Ryan, don't. And he turned around, he's like, and then he opened the door, he's like, you're banned. Do not come back here.
Yeah, so Ryan is a very calm person up until you start either like insulting him or like people he's very close with.
Yeah, it takes a lot for Ryan to get mad.
It really does. It takes a tremendous amount. Like, I don't think I've
never seen him mad.
We've never seen Ryan upset or anything like this.
I've seen him like sad about things, but I've never seen him angry until today.
And
like, he was so mad.
He was very mad. And he wasn't, you know, like
he was very protective of Abby.
Yeah. And it was like nice because we're like a little family. But
Ryan's our baby.
Yeah. He was extremely like protective once I started getting insulted, and it's just like I've heard worse, so I'm not super offended by what was said, and it definitely like didn't hurt my feelings.
And by the time that I heard the guy yelling, he was out of the store within 3 seconds. So it's not like I couldn't have done anything.
It's not like Cooper was just standing there. He was in the back doing stuff. So, and I think you were even like you were on the phone with somebody or something.
Well, like I said, by the time I realized anything was happening, it was only 3 seconds till the guy was out of the store.
Yeah.
And then at that point, I came out and I was like, I would talk to Ryan because you started helping a customer like right after, and I was like, "What's going on?" And Ryan's like, "Oh, this guy's just being a jerk." And I was like, "Okay, why? Tell me more."
And like the guy, Ryan was like, "You're banned and never come back here." And like we all just heard the guy go, "Suck my explicit word." And Ryan was like, like you have any? Like
he said that?
When he was walking back.
Oh, God.
So at that point, you know, we were like, okay, things are done. Ryan was really fired up and very upset and everything, because it's not fun to see someone you're friends with be treated poorly.
Yeah, and it's not like this stuff ever happens.
No, it never happens.
Every bad customer interaction that we've had, we have told you guys about, and there have not been that many.
Yeah.
So this is the first time anyone has ever blown up at a trade offer.
Yes.
Or us passing on a game, I guess, is what triggered him.
So at this point, he's out of the business, like, we're like, okay, it's done, it's over with. And then I'm helping these customers, and I'm apologizing because she has her son with her, and I'm like, I'm really sorry, this is not how this is. Like, if you guys feel uncomfortable and you want to leave, you're more than welcome to, and I'll have, like, Ryan or Cooper walk you to your car so you don't feel like he's gonna hurt you or anything, because he got so upset so quickly that it just, like, it wouldn't surprise me for him to, like, harm someone. That's, like, how quick he was to anger. It just wasn't rational.
That's what people on drugs do, though. They go from 0 to 100 in a split second over nothing.
Yeah. So then, while I'm helping these customers, I'm hearing, like, screaming. And I went outside and, I just looked out the window, and then I popped my head out, and he's yelling at our business neighbors' customers, because he has such a small shop. People have to wait outside sometimes. And he's harassing them for no reason, like, just yelling about us to them, even though he's, like, less than, like, 10 feet away from them, just screaming about us. And I was like, hey, you can't do this. I was like, I just turned down $3. Like, it's over. It's done. Like, get over. It sounds terrible, but I was like, get over it, And he just was, like, screaming at me and, like, calling me things. And I was like, just leave leave everyone alone. Like, I get you're upset. Like, just stop it. And at that point, he continued to sit out in his car, and Ryan was, like, at the door, just, like, waiting there because he didn't want him to come in.
Yeah, basically, whenever we get really, really busy and we're at our capacity, Ryan goes to stand by the door so that he can let people in and out as needed, so that we don't go above the 6-person limit. And so he was pretty much doing the same thing, but because we only had a few people in the store, he was just making sure that the guy didn't try to come back in or something.
Yeah. So at that point, he was, like, sitting in his car, and he wasn't leaving. And we were just like, this is kind of weird. And I think we waited about 10 minutes, and he was still there. And he's parked almost right in front of our business. And at that point, we were an hour from closing, so it was 6 p.m., and our business neighbor, he was closing, and he's been in pretty poor health lately. And we just really didn't want him to, like, harass our business neighbor. So we're just like, okay, like, I think at this point, like, since he was yelling at customers walking in our store, I was like, he's definitely going to bug, our business neighbor. I think we should call, like, a non-emergency and see if, like, we can get some assistance to either, make this situation completely go away by him being removed from the property, or just, like, calming him down or something. So we did call the police.
Yeah, I tried to call just the sheriff's office, but it was closed. Yeah. So I just had to call 911.
The non-emergency line in Vancouver does close after a certain time, unfortunately.
So I just had to call regular 911, and of course they're like, 911, what's your emergency? And I'm like, it's not really an emergency. We just have a crazy customer who just left our store. He was screaming outside for like 10 minutes, and now he's just sitting in his car and he's not leaving. And
we definitely, like, don't jump to calling the police on people. We've never had to do this except for a situation with those two customers who were actually, like, fighting with each other and trying to get it from away.
We told you guys about that when it happened. If you look back at the vlog, I think it's just called We Had to Call the Police or something. You can watch that one if you want.
We definitely aren't quick to, like, call the police or anything like that. That's not, Oh,
we did have to call the cops when the stupid guy came back and tried to have his girlfriend sell us stolen stuff, and we recognized him.
But yeah, so, like, I definitely would say, like, anytime you have a situation in which, like, you feel unsafe, call the police. But if it's something like this, I would call non-emergency. Yeah. And we did try to do that. So
the only reason we were calling was to try to get him to leave.
Yeah.
Because
we were also closing, and I was pretty worried that he was going to try to, like, confront us as we left.
Yeah, we didn't want him messing with us as we're leaving. We also didn't want him, like, sticking around and, like, throwing a rock through the window or something, like after we closed, because he's angry about a difference of $2.50, which any rational person would not blow their top over $2.50.
Well, and the silly thing was,
unless you need it for crack.
Okay. So at that point, the police had, they stayed on the phone with us, or the person stayed on the phone with us as Ryan was by the door, and we were just answering questions. We gave them a license plate, a car description, the person description, you know, made sure to be like, okay, there's no verbal threats made, there's no weapons, that kind of stuff, to make sure, like, it was a safe situation. But
I think we need to wrap it up. It's already 15 minutes. But
sorry.
basically,
Okay, no. The police arrived, and once the police arrived, they had 4 or 5 officers.
Don't know why.
Yeah, we don't know why. A couple of them went and talked to him, and then a couple came and talked to us, and we don't know what happened, but I guess they, like, turned around and, like, looked away, and the guy booked it. He ran away from his car, left his car door open in the rain, and just booked it and ran away from them. And we're just off. Like... We're like, what happened? And, like, the police, like, I think they locked and closed his door. Or they just closed his door for him. And they're like, we'll stick around for when you guys close so we can make sure, like, you guys get in your car safely. And we'll also, like, make sure to drive past tonight and to make sure he doesn't, like, try to throw a rock through the window. And then they left, and probably, like, 15 minutes later, he came back to his car, got in it, and was, like, trying to start it, and it wouldn't start. And then he finally started it and just, like, took off in the car. Yeah, so the officer said that we are in his patrol route, and he was going to be there at 7 when we closed. But I ended up leaving a little bit early to do this stuff for Abby's birthday. And so when I was leaving, the guy was back in his car trying to start it. And that was maybe, like, at, like, 6:45, so the cop wasn't there yet, unfortunately. Yeah. So I don't think that they were able to talk to him again. But obviously, if the cops are talking to you because you were yelling in a store, you don't take off running and hide from them and abandon your car. And it's not like... There's got to be another reason. He didn't make any threats or anything, so there's no reason he would have been arrested in this situation. Yeah, and they would have asked him to leave the property. And we weren't, like, scared of anything happening. Like we said, he never made any threats to us. He was an older guy. He was, like, 40, 50. He wasn't, like, very intimidating or anything like that. We just didn't want someone who's that crazy. If you're going to get so angry like that over nothing, we just don't want them to be harassing us when we're trying to leave on Abby's birthday. We're trying to have a good time. We're starting our 4-day weekend. It's almost Christmas. We don't need some crazy guy, you know, messing with us in the parking lot. So it was a very stupid situation overall, and I didn't want to put this in the vlog because obviously this took us 17 minutes to explain, but it's Abby's birthday. The video should be about that. It should be about the trade-ins we got, exchanging presents with Ryan and Jess, and so much fun, and Abby's birthday and stuff like that. So we didn't want to bog it all down with a had to call the cops story. So decided to make it its own video. What? You waved every time you would, like, wave your hand in front of my face, and it was just like... So there it is, guys. You saw the clips, and that's it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.